Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anna of Reinforce Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today, we are going to talk about the role of estrogen in weight gain, how hormones influence body fat. I'm crazy about this because I want to maintain or manage my weight as much as possible and play around it. And I just wonder, there are times like 1 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks wherein I did everything to lose weight, but nothing happens. Now it made me think that no, it could be something in me, and that is the reason why I dig in deeper, and I also find out that hormones do influence body fat, especially estrogen. Well, there are also a decent amount of estrogen level in men, but estrogen, it's much higher in women compared to men. Now, estrogen significantly influences various aspects of the body, including metabolism, fat storage, and appetite regulation. Now, here's an in-depth explanation on how estrogen affects weight. Now, the first thing is that estrogen regulates fat distribution, especially for women. Estrogen plays a crucial role in determining where fat is stored in the body. Women typically have higher estrogen levels than men, which promotes fat storage in certain areas in the body. So, in terms of estrogen level in the life of a woman, there is what we call premenopausal phase and postmenopausal phase. Premenopausal means we are in the youth age, like we're still young, like before before estrogen and progesterone finally leave our body, but not totally, but the a decent amount of estrogen will leave a woman's body by the time of when we are going to have this so-called menopausal phase. And there are loads of changes that we have to deal with as a woman. Now, in terms of premenopausal fat distribution during our reproductive years as a woman, as women, estrogen promotes fat storage around the hips, thighs, and buttocks, also known as gluteofemoral fats. This what makes a woman looks nicer and quiet, quote unquote, sexy in a way that no matter what we do, we still have a unique body type, compared to men. Now, this pattern of fat storage is often referred to as pear-shaped body, like that. It's beautiful, sexy body, quote unquote, and is considered healthier than abdominal fat storage as it carries lower risk for cardiovascular disease. Now, during postmenopausal fat distribution, as estrogen levels decline during menopause, the body's fat distribution changes. There's often a shift towards storing fat around the abdomen, which leads to visceral fats. The kind of fat which is around the internal organs and which is not healthy. When you see those people over 50 having some kind of belly fat, so those fats could be a danger, which makes us prone to cardiovascular disease and increase of cholesterol level. These changes are linked to an increased risk of heart disease, even type 2 diabetes, and other metabolic conditions when you have a belly fat when you're older, especially in women. Now, this is common because we all have this some kind of a unique level of estrogen and progesterone in our body, so that we can able to reproduce. But there will come a time that this will come to end. As they say, nothing is forever, but we can deal with it. We gotta deal with this, whether we like it or not. So this information will also serve as a guide that in some point, by the time when we reach menopausal age, phase, we got to be proactive in taking good care of our body more than before as a woman. Now, estrogen also impacts metabolism. Estrogen plays a role in regulating metabolic rate. Metabolic rate is the process by which your body converts calories into energy. When estrogen levels are high, as we are in our reproductive age as women, estrogen help maintain a healthy metabolic rate. However, when estrogen levels drop, particularly after menopausal phase, metabolism tends to slow down, leading to weight gain even if calorie intakes remain unchanged. Now, what happens? What happens to our muscles during pre-menopausal phase and post-menopausal phase as women? Now, estrogen helps preserve muscle mass, and since muscle burns more calories than fats, higher estrogen levels are associated with greater energy expenditure. But then, after menopause, the loss of estrogen can lead to a loss of muscle mass, which is called sarcopenia, reducing basal metabolic rate and contributing to weight gain. That is why, as women, when we are over 50, as you can see, this is much common as I've observed. You can see the wobble here under our arms. It's getting bigger and bigger because of our loss of muscle mass, and as well as our estrogen level, a good amount of estrogen level. So that's how important estrogen is. But once again, if it leaves by the time when it leaves our body, a decent amount will leave. A decent amount of estrogen leaves our body. As women, as a woman, we got to deal with that, and we can do it whatever it takes. Estrogen also helps stimulate fat oxidation, especially during physical activity. As estrogen level drops, the body becomes less efficient at burning fat, which can contribute to an increased fat storage, particularly in our belly during post-menopausal phase. That is my future, and that is the phase wherein women has to face, and we gotta deal with it, and we can deal with it whatever it takes, whether we like it or not. We're going to face it at the best of our ability. Now, another role of estrogen influences appetite and satiety regulation. When you feel hungry and when we feel full, when we don't want to eat anymore because it's too much and we have loads in the tummy. Now, estrogen plays a key role in regulating appetite and feeling of fullness by interacting with several other hormones in the body, particularly with leptin. Leptin is a hormone that helps regulate appetite by signaling to the brain that the body has enough stored fat. Estrogen increases the sensitivity of the brain to leptin, helping to control hunger. When estrogen levels drop, as in the menopause phase, this leptin sensitivity can decrease, making it easier to overeat and harder to maintain healthy weight for women. So, this is another possibility that we're going to notice in some point of our lives. Estrogen also has an effect on ghrelin. Ghrelin, I'm not sure if I've pronounced this well. Ghrelin is a hormone that stimulates appetite. Estrogen suppresses ghrelin, helping to reduce hunger. When estrogen levels fall, ghrelin levels may rise, leading to increased feeling of hunger and cravings, which can lead to weight gain. That is another thing that we got to deal with after menopause. Now, another thing. Estrogen also has an impact on insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control. Estrogen has a protective effect on insulin sensitivity, meaning it helps the body use insulin more effectively to process glucose and prevents excess fat storage. Now, here's how it works. High estrogen helps cells respond better to insulin, allowing glucose to be efficiently taken up by cells for energy rather than being stored as fats or just merely on in the bloodstream. In contrast, when estrogen levels are low, especially postmenopause, insulin sensitivity decreases, which can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where the body cells don't respond well to insulin. This increases the risk of weight gain, especially around the abdomen. Too much weight gain around the abdomen leading to visceral fats and can eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. Now, this is another thing that, we have to consider as women. We could have a higher probability of getting a type 2 diabetes after menopause. Estrogen helps regulate how the body processes carbohydrates. When estrogen levels are high during our reproductive years as women, the body tends to be more efficient at metabolizing carbohydrates. But post menopause, as estrogen levels drop, blood sugar regulation becomes less efficient, potentially leading to increased fat storage and difficulty in managing body weight. And another thing that I have noticed about estrogen also influences fluid retention and bloating. It actually contributes a temporary weight gain due to water retention. This effects is most noticeable during menstrual cycle because I've undergone this. And I have noticed that by the time when I'm about to get my period, that no matter what I do, my effort doesn't impact my weight. I still have the same weight no matter how I wanted to lose weight. In the luteal phase, that is after the ovulation and before the menstruation, estrogen and progesterone levels fluctuate, leading to water retention and bloating. This temporary increase in weight is usually resolved after menstruation begins, and which is actually true. That, before my period, no matter how I try to do diet, when I am beyond my target weight, still nothing's happening. But by the time when I'm on my period, the weight my effort starts to sink in. I've lose weight and everything seems to be light though. And I love it when I have my period because it's like a detox in my body. It's a cleansing and I love it. I just love it. I know it's not an easy days to have a period, especially when you might I could even experience mood swings in a short period of time, but I got to deal with that. And I love the feeling during and especially after my period. It's like so light that I like to move my body all around and I have all the energy in the world. Plus, I have the opportunity to reproduce. And during hormonal imbalances, estrogen imbalances during this, in times of stress and, when you have lack of sleep, imbalances in estrogen levels, particularly high estrogen, wherein, there's a dominance in estrogen level in our body, can lead to chronic bloating and water retention. This may make us feel like such a big weight gain, but it's mostly temporary fluid accumulation caused by estrogen. So I also feel this when I miss my periods, but when I miss my period. So I miss my period in a year, maybe once, 1 month. And I'm actually regular so far. So far, so good. So this is also the reason why I really want to know myself, my body more. because I'm much concerned about me, myself, and I. And, I also care about my family and the people around me, my career, the love of my life. So I care about my relationships as much as I care about myself. So this is the outcome. Now, the role of estrogen in menopause related weight gain. Now, this is what happens. During menopause, the drop of estrogen levels can contribute to weight gain in several ways. Number one is as estrogen levels fall, the body's resting energy expenditure decreases, meaning you burn fewer calories at rest. This contributes to weight gain over time, particularly if calorie intake is not adjusted. So it's important to, as much as possible, keep your body active. Work out and, spare a time in a day for physical activity rather than just, sitting down, chilling, watching your favorite Netflix series. Uh, you know, Keeping yourself active is also a self-care. Now, another thing, lower estrogen levels also accelerate the loss of muscle mass, which slows metabolism further with reduced muscle mass. And having this, lower muscle mass and it's kind of, some part of our arms could be saggy as women, or other parts of the body could be saggy because we've lost the muscle mass. The body burns fewer calories even during exercise, making weight gain more likely. But even though it's like this, we're still prone to weight gain. Still keep your body active. The loss of estrogen causes fat to be stored more around the abdomen. This visceral fat is more metabolically active and is associated with an increased risk of metabolic diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Now, so yeah, we gotta deal with that, especially for women. Now, another thing, estrogen has an effect on physical activity. As we've noticed, as we've noticed as women, during our reproductive years, we were so energetic. But when estrogen levels go down, during menopause and post-menopause so phase, we tend to have low energy. Now, estrogen influences energy level and exercise performance. Higher estrogen levels, such as during the first half of menstrual cycle, which is I so love. I love it too. I love this phase too. This phase is associated with higher energy levels and better endurance. During the times of low estrogen, such as during menopause, women may experience fatigue, making it harder to stay active, which in turn can contribute to weight gain. Now, how are we going to improve this? How can we manage estrogen in our body with or without it? Now, I'm going to give you some tips, like 5 top tips in improving weight, in improving your weight management through estrogen regulation. The first one is dietary adjustments, especially that when you feel, you're about to gain weight, even before menopause. So you can also take foods like soy, flax seeds, legumes, that contains a plant-based estrogen, which can mimic the effects of estrogen in the body. So this may help balance estrogen naturally. But one of my favorite is high fiber diets. Vegetables and fruits, whole grains. I love fruits and vegetables, but I'm not a vegan. Not totally, but I love fruits and vegetables and meat. This kind of diet can help regulate blood sugar and insulin levels, which are influenced by estrogen too. You can eat fruits and vegetables, but keep striking the balance. Not too much of it. And it's also way better to not forget the intake of healthy fats, the omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for the heart. which is found in fish, chia seeds, and walnuts, which is essential for hormone balance, including estrogen. The second tip is exercise. Regular physical activity can help regulate estrogen levels and metabolism. With or without estrogen, let's keep our body active rather than chilling around with a sedentary lifestyle. Look, there's more to life than that, and I hate that, to be honest. Strength training, in particular, helps build muscle, which burns more calories at rest, improving weight management. Strength training, there's a lot of ways for strength training, even just a simple weightlifting, but it could be with supervision, or make it a regular practice, make it a routine. And to some people, post menopause, some women would consider hormonal therapy. For women going through menopause, hormone replacement therapy can help maintain estrogen levels, preventing weight gain associated with hormonal changes. And it's not only weight gain that we got to face after menopause. There are other, many things that we're going to experience during menopausal phase. Mood swings, blood dyscrasia. There are things that we women can only understand. So we got to buckle up. And some women, as soon as possible, when they feel like they couldn't take it anymore, they eventually seek help. And one of the effective ways to really fight this, estrogen, the loss of estrogen, is hormonal replacement therapy, HRT. And but this must be discussed with a healthcare provider to manage weight and risks. Number 4 is stress management. That even though you're already in hormonal therapy, you still got to manage stress as a woman. Not only applies to man. High levels of stress increases cortisol, which can affect estrogen production and lead to weight gain. So too much of estrogen could be, it's not good. You got to strike the balance. Stress relieving activities like meditation, mindfulness, walking around, keeping your body active, going to the gym, hanging out with the good people in your life, people whom you can trust, people who wants the best for you. You can even do yoga, and any simple exercise at the best of your at the best of your ability can also help with stress management. Lastly, sleep. During menopausal phase and after menopause, some women, but not all, they also suffer with lack of sleep, especially during menopausal phase. So that's the reason why they run to hormonal replacement therapy. But even before menopausal phase, sleep is essential. So adequate sleep is crucial for hormonal balance. Poor sleep affects leptin and the hunger hormones, the ghrelin, as well as estrogen, making it harder to manage weight and also your mood. All in all, by balancing estrogen levels naturally through diet, exercise, and stress management, or seeking medical intervention, if necessary, you and me can effectively improve weight management and self-care associated with estrogen fluctuation. So, especially for women, we have our times wherein we got to face this, and we have our moments too. So, since it's already there, and we got no choice, look, if others were able to make it, we can make it too. We can do it. We can manage ourselves. We can take care of our weight. We can face anything that we have to go through as a woman. Nothing is impossible. And we're living the life. We love our life, our relationships, and we got what it takes to take good care of our body. I hope you get something, from our discussion today. And if you ever love this episode, you can follow me in Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even in Amazon Music, Amazon Podcasts, Reinforce Me Club. This is Anne, by the way, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.